Hi, my name is Willie, and in this video, we're going to talk about parts. Traded a friend $140 for a garden tractor and took this on trade. Take some, knock off the repair costs for getting the garden tractor going. Runs, but it's got flat tires and the deck doesn't work right. So it doesn't really, it runs, but it doesn't cut grass and it's smoking a belt. So I got a guy that's going to buy this. There's all the blown up Intech engines underneath that tarp. I'm hoping he's going to buy that and the rusted yard cart and this mower. That's a parts tractor that has a nice motor in it. I'm hoping it'll run, but I'm not going to get to that right now. I'm going to go over that later. But that's what this is here for, is that's just going to get sold and get some money out of it because the Kohler Command still runs under it. These always run 15 horsepower. They're good, reliable engines. Just make sure you check your oil on them if they're gravity feed. Now this one, only paid $60 for. Just for the heartbeat. If you look really closely, see how far apart those are? That's right. For those of you, astute of you, opposed cylinder engine was in here, a Briggs. But not just any opposed cylinder Briggs. It's a vomit shaft. But not just any vomit shaft, opposed cylinder Briggs. We'll get more to that when we get over there. So the motor, which didn't run very good, but it did run, only cost me 60 bucks. So, hang on. See if this is going to focus today. Okay, so numbers. Over here is a code. First two numbers is 00, and 01, and 07. That's going to be 2000, the first month, the 7th day. And the 5B will be the manufacturer that built it. The type is just the engine type, so the options that are on the engine, that will be specified in the type. And if you look really closely at these numbers here, we got a 461707. So the 46 is the cubic inches. So that means it's a big block. Oh yeah, big 2-0. More information here. It's industrial commercial, which means it's got the cast iron sleeves, longer life engine. So this has cast iron cylinder sleeves for the bores. So these engines are better built. The nice thing about these engines, these can be converted to horizontal shaft. You take an engine block, like an 18 horsepower engine block, and you take the sump and the crank and all that fun stuff, and you stick it in this block, and you get a 20 horsepower horizontal shaft. Another nice thing about this is being the 20 horse, this is actually an earlier one, the 2000. I could be wrong on that, but this doesn't have the pressure lube on it. So there's no ports in the block for the pressure lube. Now I'm going to take the cover off and the head off, and we're going to see what we have, okay? So, hang on. Okay, you got the cover off. The ignition looks nice. It's not falling apart or fraying. The engine overall is nice and clean. So, some of the check marks. It's a 20 horse, which is good. Cast iron bore, which is better. 46 cubic inch, also good. That's 46 cubic inch cylinder number 1. Now one bummer is it does not have the provisions in here for a dipstick for a horizontal. There would be a hole with a plug in it, so I'll have to make something onto the sump to check the oil on this. So there's one more thing I want to check for. I got to pull a head off. Before I pull the head off, I got to run a compression test because I want to see what kind of condition we have on these. So I'm going to ask you to hang on, okay? I'll be back. It'll be a few minutes for me, a few seconds for you. I think you'll be okay. Just hang on, okay? So, 1 second. Okay, for those of you wondering what this is, I'll be sure to put a link in the description below. This is something I had built for this purpose. We have our ground and our positive. So we're going to look at our gauge now. Really wish I had a fancy holder. Let's stick it up against the spinning flywheel. Nah, might be a bad idea. Oh well. Be nice if it could sit there. Whichever. We'll crank her over. Leaking down a little bit, but let me redo that. I'll get you back on. Just a little shy of 120, so about 115. That's good. Once again, we're about 115. So even better. Boy, this is getting good. Love to show you this thing runs, but I don't want to put the blower cover back on. And I want to keep all my fingers, so just believe me, it runs. It doesn't run good. It runs with a little bit of choke, but it does still run. I'm not going to use this carburetor anyway, so let me pull that head off. So once again, I'm going to have to ask you to hold on. Okay. Let's see if I can't get that in camera. But once again, we got cross hatches, no scoring. So that's really good. Some lines over here, but absolutely nothing I can feel. It's probably just where the ring end gaps are probably at. Okay, now they made these with a small and a large bore. I know the large bore is about 3 3/4 inches, just a little over 3 3/4. So I had measured this. It's about 3 inches, 425 thousandths, so it's a smaller bore. So, okay, not bad. Not horrible. There's better ones out there, but for the money, I think I did really good. I wonder what the valve seats look like. Valve seats look pretty clean. I don't see any rounded edges. Yeah, the valve seats don't look too bad. This engine's got some hours on it, but it's not a whole lot of hours. So what I'm going to do with this is I got all those 18 horsepower horizontal shaft engines. So I'm going to swap the covers, the plate, and the sump, and put the 8 horsepower crank rods and governor and all that fun stuff on here. And I'm going to have to put a dipstick onto the side of the sump to fill the oil. And then you deck your pistons about 60 thousandths of an inch. And you put 16 horsepower connecting rods in there and you can build a stroker. 20 horsepower engine blocks have the bigger valves in them than the 18s. So this is going to get built up someday. So I'm happy. I'm really excited. For 60 bucks, I'm ecstatic. It has good compression on both cylinders. When this thing was running, I didn't hear any noises in it other than just the standard opposed twin purr, chug, whatever you want to say. So I'm going to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So, hope you like the video. If you ever have any questions, you can always ask in the comments section. And as usual, I'm going to wish you to have a good day. Bye.